So again, I invite every one of you to go into our hearts. The spine is straight, closing our eyes. Feel your third eye and your pineal gland. Focus on your breath. Breathing is very important. Long, deep inhalation. Pause. Long, deep exhalation. Pause. Inhale love and life, good energy, positive energy. Then you pause for a little bit. That's the 0-point balance. And then you're able to release the negativity that is stuck in your cells through exhalation. So the flow of life, the flow of breath, inhale, positive energy, pause, exhale, everything that is of that old stress and tension in your body, your mind, your emotions. Everything is leaving your body that is not of the good. Right? And just focusing on that and being in your heart and feeling that love that is inside of you. Remember, you're the light of the soul. And that's how you can recharge each and every day. And remember who you truly are. You're the light divine. So I'm going to recite a prayer here. Gananam tva ganapatigam havamahe kavem kavinam upamashravastama Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Ana Shanva Nutibisi the Sadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha. Through praises we worship you, Lord of the Vedas, leader of all groups of devas, visionary of visionaries, one who has great fame through various metaphors, most exalted of the knowers of Brahman, one who shines in the heart of devotees, hearing our prayers of reverence. Please sit at the altar, fire ritual in our hearts, with all protective means. Salutations to the great Ganapati. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Ganesh. So, right, the Ayurveda, the ancient teachings, all about also sacred rituals, how to be in a present moment and how to be in the now. Right, the 8 steps of yoga also teaching us how to withdraw from the external world and how to sink deep within our hearts. Even Yeshua, right? Here, people think, that Jesus and so on. For me, he was born in the Middle East and he was a yogi. He was an ascended master. He comes from the Pleiades. He was highly advanced soul. He went to the Himalayas and he studied with the Rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains, okay? And also he was with the Buddhist monks as well. So I call him Isa or Yeshua, right? And again, he's saying the kingdom of heaven is within. And people are constantly searching and looking for the external world, not realizing that all the power, all the treasure, all the beauty is inside of us, in that sacred chamber of our hearts. And I'm stressing the importance. I talk about the chakras, okay? I talk about the heart chakra and the higher heart chakra. That's that thymus area. Remember, your endocrine glands are connected to your chakra system, okay? And the thymus, right? The immune system, the T cells, okay? Very important to protect that area because, you have to take care of your pineal glands. You have to take care of your aura, your chakras for optimum health and well-being. And with Ayurveda food, we're learning how to balance our doshas, right? We talk about the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So the wisdom of Ayurvedic cooking, extremely important in these times because we are going through a great shift and transformation. We are going through a great awakening and shift in consciousness. Things are changing. Okay. So very important to pay attention to those subtle shifts that are within our bodies, within our energy field. Okay. Just paying attention. Time to be intuitive and intuitive. I mean, time to, open our sixth sense, our third eye. Time to, work with the chakras. Time to be the master of our energies. And for me, food is still important for us, right? I mean, unless you're a breatharian or you know how to synthesize the plasma light, the photonic light from the sun, we still need to take care of our bodies through food and nutrition. So the Lemurian diet, right? We're going back to back to the garden, to the organic fruits and vegetables, and how to have compassionate diet. It's for the ascending individual, right? The Ayurveda macrobiotic, that was also the teachings of the Essenes, teachings of the rishi sages, and of that Eastern society. Here we're emphasizing the uncooked diet and the superfood, making smoothies and juices, drinking distilled water or drinking purified water, right? Drinking room temperature water, especially when you're eating. And superfood, we talk about the cacao, moringa, hemp powder, maca. Let me see, what else? Chlorella, spirulina, right? All these herbs and the superfood contains important vitamins and minerals for our growth, for our strength, and for synthesizing for our proteins, right? The amino acids, those are the building blocks we needed for our tissues. So Lemuria, so that was one of those ancient continents here on this planet. Actually, the planet Tara, we were in the fifth dimension, and so we had the Lemurian civilization million years ago, highly advanced civilization of beings of light. Okay, they live in harmony with nature. The remnants of Lemuria, actually, I'm sure the books of Telos, right? There is a portal underneath Mount Shasta, California, the inner earth. That's some of those people from Lemuria. They're still living. They survived the cataclysm of Lemuria and in Atlantis. So those were actually starseeds. Okay, came here on spaceships, and they created colonies. Okay, and they, California, the West, that's the Pacific Ocean, that and Hawaii, that used to be part of Lemuria, ancient continent, ancient civilization, highly advanced beings of light. They had direct connection to God, to source. Okay. They had all kinds of sacred ceremonies, sacred rituals. They had connection to Mother Nature, and they knew how to live in harmony with their environment. Okay, so they live simply, very simple living, but they were high thinkers. And they, of course, had the reverence for Holy Mother, the Divine Feminine. Okay, and so they were also high priestesses, high priests there, doulas, and they did lots of chanting, lots of singing, lots of dancing of that Lemurian language, light language. And So their food was only plant-based.
So can you basically can you tell us about, are Lemurians star seeds, or who are these star seeds?
So star seeds. So we all come pretty much from the stars. I mean, stars. We come. We come from the stars. So we have the Earthlings here. People, they are more connected to the Earth. Okay, and their incarnation was mostly here on Earth, whether 3D Earth, the 3D. But most of us who are empaths, sensitives, highly advanced souls, we come from the Pleiades. We come from Arcturus. Okay, we come from Andromeda. We come from Antares. We come from other star systems, and not only of this universe, but other universes. Okay, there are billions of universes, or it's just like infinite. And so these highly advanced beings on their spaceships, right? They came here to this reality, right? And remember, in millions of years ago, this used to be paradise, this planet. Okay, in fifth dimension it was Tara, and the seventh dimension, that's the third density, it was Gaia. And also what happened, these star seeds came and were seeding angelic divine beings here many millions of years ago. Okay, so so they came here because also of the material, and because of exploring of consciousness and of planets. And so they found this planet, Gaia, goddess Gaia, okay, which is a reflection of the divine. It's it used to be actually 12 dimensional jewel of this universe. Okay, and all kinds of experimentations, but of that positive actions was happening, because Earth is like a living library of all the star seeds that came here, all the colonies, all this exchange of information. Okay, so all kinds of civilizations were coming here from other star systems. So those are the star seeds, and you have that in your DNA, in your Akashic records, right? DNA, you remember you're different. It's like I came over here and I'm like, why people live like this, and what is this all about? It's, for us, it's very difficult to understand this kind of 3D lifestyle, right? Just going to work, people eating meat, all these interesting, conversation, like the ego is very limited. And how come we don't have spaceships? How come, it should be, where's the Ayurveda restaurant, right? I'm looking for something that is holistic, where people sing and dance, they chant mantras. So, you have to remember that. I cannot point fingers, right? It's written within your DNA, right? That you are a star seed, or you come from other star system, that you're a volunteer. So yes.
So as you were saying, we are coming from different star systems. So can you tell us about, is it possible for everyone to know where they came from, and what
Yes,
is their
yes,
origin? So can you
yes.
tell us about it a little bit?
Yeah, well, it is the journey of self-discovery is that everything is written in our DNA and in those Akashic records of your DNA. So doing self-discovery, doing 8 steps of yoga is teaching all that. Self-study, right? Self-discovery, you're asking questions. And then the research is also important, right? We have all the just other beautiful star beings and star seeds and teachers and gurus and healers and so on. What are you identifying with? Who are you connecting with, right? That will give you a sign. Oh, I'm more of that Pleiadian nature. Oh, I'm more of that Arcturian nature. Oh, I'm more of that Andromeda nature, or I come from Sirius. Like I have a connection to the star Sirius, right? We're the indigo warriors. I already came here with my third eye open, telepathic abilities. I didn't understand how come people don't use telepathy for pure communication, pure conversation. And so, you start seeing who is more of that etheric nature, who wants to meditate, who is sensitive, who is intuitive, who has quick understanding, compared to people who are just very, materialistic and consumerism and eating lots of meat and not really taking care of nature. You can see the energy frequency, right? Those who are the star seeds or Lemurians or from Atlantis, right? So the Lemurians are more of that crystalline nature, right? We talk about the crystal technology. And they're extremely etheric and all about Divine Mother, Holy Mother, okay? Just very artistic, very creative, and just they have a devotion to the divine, For them, the yoga lifestyle, Ayurveda lifestyle is the way to go. So the Atlantis, they're more into the mind, the Atlantis mind. They're more, it's more like a masculine energy. They can eat some meat, okay, and they're the indigo, also the indigo warriors, okay, on the rainbow warriors. And it's a journey of self-discovery. You are the co-creator with the divine. God is within you. We can give you a little bit of advice, but you are the one who is rediscovering himself and herself. And there is so much material. Dolores Cannon, right? All these hypnotherapists. If you want to have a past life regression, make sure those are of they're in integrity. All these therapists, right? You can read books. I have a books about Sacred Journey to Atlantis. I bought this book about the Lemuria because I'm connected to the word Lemuria, right? Lessons from a living Lemuria. So those are the ancient civilizations. They lived million years ago here in this physical world, right? Here in this planet. It used to be ascended planet. It used to be planet, civilization, floating cities. We had spacecrafts, right? We have levitating cars. People, telekinesis, teleportation, telepathy. So you see it. We think like, oh, we are going to the future. We have highly advanced technology. No, we are resurrecting all the ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom, ancient technology, right? From the blue star born, the rishi sages who came here after the cataclysm in Atlantis because of misuse, abuse of highly advanced technology, crystalline technology. That's why we have to align with God's law. We have to do God's will. That's why we have to practice now yoga, union with the divine. We have to do the inner work. Nobody's going to do the ascension for us and really tell us, how many DNA strands it's activated. We're just giving you a protocol for ascension, the guardian protocol for ascension, what to do, how to activate your DNA, so you start remembering, I am, I'm from the Pleiades, I'm from Sirius, I'm from Andromeda, or, I'm from Lyra, okay? So this is everybody's journey. We're on a hero's journey. We're everybody's on their individual ascension soul journey. And we're here to, helping each other, communicating with each other, like activating our DNA, okay? And you have to have your enlightened contact. You have to have connection with your heart, with your soul, with your oversoul, with your higher self, with your Atman, right? With Brahma, with other, with your angels, archangels, your ascension guides. This is your personal journey. Nobody can really tell you how to live that, or what to do. But at the same time, there are rules. Study universal laws, and start understanding energies. So did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. About
Okay.
Lemuria. So basically, you are saying Lemurians are they were representing the feminine energy, and the
The feminine energy,
Atlanticians, they
Atlantean, the
were.
masculine energy. Yes, the Atlantean, the masculine energy, the sacred mind, and Lemurian, the sacred heart, the feminine energies. Yes. And so very important in these times, we need to integrate the divine feminine with the divine masculine. Because what happened now here in this descended state, in this blended reality, or in this, false 3D matrix, all this patriarchy, right? And women are slaves, and children, right? They're just, some, it's just people disconnected themselves from their heart, from their soul, and creating all this karma, creating all this miasma, right? So we have to bring both energies of masculine and feminine together through that 0 point, through that divine neutrality, through being in our hearts, right?
So you are talking about the 12 DNA, right? So recently, I have heard there some science evidence. They were talking about the third DNA. They are seeing a third DNA in making. They have not confirmed it yet, but according to them, they said uh, they believe the third DNA is in making, and there are some proof. I mean, there are some proofs of this making of this DNA. So it makes sense what you are saying about the 12 DNAs.
We talk about the double helix or triple helix
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah. I'm talking about double.
because we have um, strands. There are 12 strands of DNA. That's our original. Okay, original divine blueprint is 12 strands of DNA. Okay, and they talk about the double helix. But I have to find it somewhere here in Magenta's Pixie material. She talks about the triple helix, which is actually people thought it's invisible, but that's your etheric. There's etheric DNA where only scientists who are of advanced nature, and they don't abuse but use highly advanced technology, right? They can start understanding that there is a triple helix and there is more than 2 or 3 strands of DNA. But you have to meditate. That's why it's extremely important about your consciousness, okay? You cannot have a scientist who eats meat, who is on drugs, right? Who watches porn, okay? I don't want to be mean. And then is telling me, oh, this science is telling me this. You are the science. You are the bioquantum computer. You are the consciousness, okay? You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. And it's great when there is proof and people need the scientific proof, but remember, the proof it's within you. What resonates with you? What do you identify with? And understand, like, the science, and people pay attention, but here in America there's been so many deceptions and so many lies, and all the scientists and all these academia and technology, actually it's been misused, and all this misinformation. So we've been lied to, we've been deceived. Okay, so we need scientists who practice, yoga, Ayurveda lifestyle, scientists who meditate, scientists who have love for God, for Mother Nature, for humanity. We need humanitarian scientists. We need scientists that are expanding their consciousness, eating plant-based diet, drinking distilled water so they can expand their consciousness. And with highly advanced technology, they can see that there is not only physical strands of DNA, but we have etheric strands of DNA, etheric technology. And for that, you have to have your third eye open, sixth sense open, so you see multidimensionally. We cannot, live in this 3D linear thinking materialistic world that everything has to be proven. Like on that visible spectrum, we are 99.9% energy. We're spiritual beings having human experience. That's why, the star seeds, the light workers, highly advanced souls, we're the volunteer souls. We are bringing the ancient wisdom knowledge for humanity, how to live in harmony with nature, how to expand their consciousness, how to heal, how to activate their DNA, because the entire story, right, the Akashic records are within you, within your DNA. And nobody can, kind of do that for you, because you're God sovereign free. You're the God within you. You have the divine spark within you. So it's every one of us responsibility to really work on ourselves. And I am resurrecting the ancient wisdom of the yogis, 8 steps of yoga, right? Yamas, niyamas, virtues, ethics, morals, observance, self-study, surrendering to God, praying, chanting, meditating, cleansing, purifying, Ayurveda methods, right, for cleansing, drinking distilled waters, so your pineal gland be decalcified and you can start seeing multidimensionally. And if you're a scientist or a doctor and so on, you're just like, oh, look at this. And with Marina Jacobi, she's changing all these upgrades, right? Channeling information from hybrids, quantum, right? Nanotechnology, right? Again, the same thing, nanotechnology. Who is using it? You have the good ETs and bad aliens, bad ETs. Same thing, like let's say a knife. If I give a knife to a carpenter, somebody who creates beautiful artwork out of wood, so he's going to take the knife and create something beautiful. But if I give the knife to a person who is programmed, who is a killer, a murderer, he goes out there and kills a person because that's his programming. Okay, and it was a knife, right? How are you going to use that tool for creation, constructive way, or you're going to use it as a destructive way? Okay, because the power is within you, the God is within you. The same thing with the electrons, the particles, they're for us here. But with our consciousness, how are we going to use it? For the good, for humanity, or for service to self and for destruction? Okay, so that's how powerful we are. Also, we are not the genes, right? Epigenetics, Dr. Bruce Lipton's talk about the he talks about the what is it, or not, let me see, the biology of beliefs. Biology of beliefs, our thoughts. What are we putting out there? What are we projecting? Is it from fear? Is it from our ego? Is it from is it trauma based, because we haven't released our trauma, our karma, we haven't really figured out ourselves? Or we are projecting, or we are emitting energy coming from our heart. So we have high thoughts about other people. We think beautiful things. We create beautiful karma, good karma. What kind of energy are you putting out there? Is it of a positive nature, good karma, or is it of negative nature, negative karma? So the same thing with scientists, with the technology. We have the technology is here. And they are, intuitive scientists or healers. They see more than three or five strands of
3D.
DNA. We have children. Children already active. Their strands are being activated, but they're on that etheric plane. On that there are other dimensional. We're multidimensional beings. People cannot. We have to stop thinking linearly and 3D only what we see with our 3D eyes, right? We have to open our third eye, activate the pineal gland, so you can see multidimensionally. You can see in fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, and that's how you expand your consciousness. More questions? Okay.
So, do
So,
you have any specific diet for Lemurians or Atlanticians you were talking about? Do they
sure.
have any
Well,
specific diet?
I have like 5 million years ago. I think it's in book Telos. Book Telos. I would have to. I don't have that book with me right now. Hold on. Did I bring it? No, I did not. It's in my room. But there are dates when they came here on a spaceship millions of years ago from other star systems, and they came to this planet and created colonies. And the remnants of Lemuria on western coast of USA, it used to be the Pacific Ocean and Hawaii, also New Zealand. It was part of Lemuria as well. And like I said, they were very peaceful, peaceful civilization, highly advanced civilization. We also had different fruits. The fruits that we have now, it's different. There was like a mixture of coconut and watermelon, and especially women were drinking the milk from those fruits. And men at the time, they were eating more vegetables, leafy greens, right, for nourishment, and women, that energy more for cleansing. And but everything was plant-based, vegan diet, fruits, veggies, sea vegetables, coconut milk, nuts and seeds, root veggies, and herbs. They had living whether pyramids. They have temple crystal cities. We used to have crystal cities, just like in Sedona. Talking about the crystal cities and all these red rocks, right? People in Telos, right? Or the Lemuria, they had crystalline domes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, it was a different technology, had crystalline technology. Oh, the pyramids, like in ancient Egypt, they had levitating, technology for levitation. So now you see all these bulldozers and all these trucks, right? No, this is not how it was back in ancient Lemuria or ancient Egypt or in Atlantis. Those were highly advanced technology. And even the solar rishis, right, the blue starborn, they came here on Vimanas, spacecrafts, and they landed here at the foothills of the Himalayan mountains. And I think it was more than 6,000 years ago. It was right after Cataclysm. So that was like 10,000 years ago. So maybe they came here right after that, maybe 8,000 years ago. And of course, they were kind of unnoticed because, they can levitate, like Babaji Matavar Babaji, they can cloak, they can materialize, dematerialize, right? That's what happens when you activate your DNA. You become psychic, telepathic, you can levitate. You can even move objects, just telling them move. Okay, you don't need to go there and pick up that object. You can lift that object through your mind. That's why the Buddhist monks, right, or the children who stay in those monasteries, they learn how to harness your power that comes from within. They do all kinds of breath work and
Mhm.
exercises. So that power is within us. It's all about really the DNA activation, being outside on the sun and just feeling that power within, right? Call upon your Atma, call upon your soul, bring it into your heart. Ask your guides, or Brahman or Vishnu or Shiva for expansion, right? You read Bhagavad Gita or sacred text, just reading, or in Sanskrit, just reading, right? What I on or like what is it? The prayer for victory over death. You know, you just reading Sanskrit, or worshiping Lord Vishnu or Shiva. That's how you expand your consciousness. You activate your DNA. You bring your inheritance back online, and especially people in India, right? Very important to remember your tradition from thousands of years ago, of the rishis, the Vedas, reading Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, right? Studying that ancient history. And, but then unfortunately, there were other civilizations coming. And then, of course, the intruders came, right? Whether from, the Phantom Matrix, from Wisadek, from Mars, okay? And they start infiltrating and kind of, uh, bringing negativity to those highly advanced civilizations.